While I've known about Pulsar for a while now, the X2 is the mouse that really got my attention, along with a good majority of the gaming community. And Pulsar's been killing it for a while and shows no signs of stopping. But at the beginning of this year, they announced the Bruce Lee limited edition of the Pulsar X2, and oh my god, this thing is amazing. Since the X2 has been covered quite a bit, I'm just going to kind of breeze through some of the specs and we'll move on to the good stuff. The X2 is a largish ambidextrous mouse with a pretty pronounced hump and a flattish front end. Its main grip styles are for claw grip and fingertip grip, but the back end isn't as large as something like the Lamzu Atlantis, so it really fits me very well, somebody who kind of floats between fingertip and claw grip. It's 120 millimeters long, 63 millimeters at the grip width, and 38 millimeters tall. As mentioned, it has a pretty similar shape to the Lamzu Atlantis and other claw grip focused mice we've seen, but I feel this is much easier to hold in the hand. The back slope is pretty aggressive, but the sides don't flare out as much towards the back. There's still enough room for me to anchor my pinky and thumb, but it doesn't feel like it's taking up my entire palm. The large size of the X2 has a weight of 56 grams, which is pretty respectable for this large closed shell design. This is my first experience with Pulsar ever, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed. I know a lot of people have been singing the praise for Pulsar for quite a while now, and it's not that I didn't believe the hype was real, it just took me this long to pick one up. And I gotta say, I wish I had picked up the X2 quite a bit sooner. The X2 comes standard with the Pulsar 3395 sensor in both this limited edition and their standard editions. But what is different is the Bruce Lee limited edition of the X2 features Pulsar's new optical switches on mouse 1 and 2. The standard version of the X2 comes with Kale 8.0 switches, which I've said in other videos are great switches, but these optical switches are really nice. They're certainly the crispiest optical switch I've seen yet, and according to Pulsar, they will be using these optical switches standard in all of their mice going forward, from what I can tell from their announcement video just a few weeks ago. There seems to be a bit of pre-travel on mouse 1 and 2. Now, I don't know if this is something all X2s suffer from or if this is just due to their new optical switches, but it's not something I noticed in game at all, only when I was nitpicking the mouse and going through every little piece. The mouse itself is a banger for sure, and picking this one up makes me regret not picking up an X2 sooner. Okay, so main event time, the Bruce Lee theme. While I love the look of this mouse, it's kind of hard to justify it as an everyday mouse. The yellow and black just kind of doesn't go with my setup, but that's okay because with this, I fully intend on like framing this thing because it's like clearly a work of art. The unboxing experience is unlike anything I've seen from a gaming mouse. The mouse was built in partnership with the Lee family, so there's no shortage of Bruce Lee imagery throughout the packaging. When opening the box for the first time, you're greeted by a silhouette of Bruce on the front, along with images and quotes on both sides of the box, and the entire thing is covered in Bruce's iconic black and yellow themed costume, worn by him in his film Game of Death, that's often been imitated or replicated in all sorts of different movies. In the box, you get the mouse itself, a yellow and black USB-C charging cable, a yellow USB receiver adapter, a black USB dongle that seems to have Chinese writing on it, an extra pair of PTFE skates, and a set of Bruce Lee themed Super Glide glass skates, which is a nice touch. A few Bruce Lee Pulsar themed stickers. They went deep with this limited edition, and that's nice to see. This isn't just a black and yellow mouse tossed into a standard X2 box. They really went all out. The mouse is yellow with a black stripe running down the center with what I'm assuming is Chinese writing on the mouse and scroll wheel, along with Bruce Lee's signature on the inside of the mouse. There is so much to love with this limited edition. While I'm a fan of the overall vibes, I was a fan of Bruce Lee's movies early on in high school. The yellow and black doesn't really mash with my current setup, but given it's more of a limited edition, it really is more of a collector's item, and I don't want to use it that much anyway, although I am happy that I did end up picking up one of the X2 because I will absolutely be picking up a white one for my setup. As for the Bruce Lee X2, I think it makes a really great statement piece, and I will likely be putting it on my shelf or hanging it in a frame on my wall. I've got some ideas for a display piece that are going to look really great. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. Maybe think about clicking that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys in the next video.